Hello all, in this video we'll talk about titrations. We basically do these titrations is nothing but it's a chemical reaction between acid and base. In titrations what we do is it's a quantitative analysis, quantitative chemical analysis. So basically we try to find the concentration of one of the species in the reaction. So for example, when you're doing acid-base titrations, let's say you have your concentration of base is known, and then you're trying to find the concentration of your acid by doing the titrations. So this is a technique, nothing but chemical reaction. So there are like three types we're going to discuss in this chapter, which are like strong acid, strong base titrations, and the other one is weak acid and strong base titrations, and then strong acid and weak base titrations. So those are the three types we are going to discuss in this chapter. So when we look at it, strong acid, strong base titrations, so basically the name itself says you're going to use strong acid and then react with strong base. For example, you have strong acid hydrochloric acid and then strong base sodium hydroxide. When you react these two, so sodium hydroxide react with hydrochloric acid, you get NaCl plus water. And then when we write the net ionic equation, so how do we write the net ionic equation? So this is like NaOH is aqueous, so it will completely ionize in the aqueous solution as Na plus OH minus, and then hydrochloric acid will ionize into H plus and then Cl minus. This NaCl will ionize into Na plus and then Cl minus, and then you have pure liquid as water. When you cancel out your spectator ions, Na plus on both sides and then Cl minus on both sides, whatever left here after you cancel the spectator ions is going to be your net ionic equation. So that's how you got OH minus plus H plus equals to water. That's your net ionic equation when you react acid with the base. So let's see what happens when you react your base with the acid. When you look at this graph, so you can easily observe, like, okay, on y-axis you have pH, and then you on your x-axis you have volume of the sodium hydroxide. So this graph represents, like, let's say for example in your flask, Erlenmeyer flask, you have taken acid, okay, and then in the burette you took your base, which is sodium hydroxide, and then you keep on adding that base to your acid, and then here you put your pH meter into your acid, and then you're measuring the pH while doing this experiment. So that's the meaning of this graph. So initially when you were, so before you add any of your base to your acid, that means the volume of your sodium hydroxide is 0. So here this scale shows that 0 volume. When you added nothing to your flask, when you measure your pH at 0 volume of your sodium hydroxide added to the flask, the pH is 1. So you can see that this is an acid pH value should be lower numbers, less than 7. And then when you keep on adding, let's say you added 1 ml or 5 ml, let's say 5 ml, so that's the point where your pH improved, like increased a little bit to 1 point something, 1.2, and then you added another 5 ml, so total how much you added? 10 ml, and then your pH went up to 1.3 or 1.4. so this is so now again you added more and more, you keep on adding your base, your sodium hydroxide, you keep on adding to your acid, and then your pH will continuously increase. And then because this is a base, that's why your pH is increasing. When you reach at certain point, for example, you have all the acid acid is like, think uh, like pockets. Okay, these are all HCl's, for example. And then your base is going to be like, you think like these are your base. So once these will react, so these pockets are full, then this is the equivalence point. That means in your solution you have equal number of acid, equal number of base, they paired together, and that's the point. Immediately your pH will spike from here to here. That's the equivalence point. And then you need to take half of this, and then when you extrapolate on both sides, that will be your equivalence point, where your concentration of acid and base are equal. So you have equal number of acid molecules and base molecules in the solution. So that's your equivalence point. And then when you're adding at that point, so it's already converted from basic to acidic to basics, and then your pH is 11. And then when you keep on adding sodium hydroxide, it will go a little bit high, and then eventually this curve will flatten. So after this, it's not going to do much even though you add more, because it's completely converted to acid to base solution. So that's the strong acid strong base titrations. Now look these in terms of numbers. Okay, so here the titration at any point of time you can measure the pH, right? So first, when you started, you have 25 ml of 0.1 molar hydrochloric acid, and you're reacting with 0.1 molar sodium hydroxide. So once you started your reaction, so you have a flask, and then that flask has only acid, and that acid concentration is 0.1 molar, and then you have 25 ml of that acid here. So then, okay, look at the first row. So here OH minus added. So initially we did not add any sodium hydroxide, but we are measuring our pH here. That's why our graph says pH was 1, right? In our graph, pH was 1 when you added nothing to your flask. So here, how do you calculate the concentration of your H plus ions and how much volume you have and everything? Let's see. When you calculate the remaining H plus ions in your solutions in terms of moles, you remember you can find out moles using this formula. We all know that molarity is nothing but number of moles over volume in liters. Okay, so if you want to find out the H plus ions in terms of moles, so you can rearrange this equation. So you are going to get number of moles is equals number of moles is equals to molarity times volume in liters. Okay, so what's your molarity? The concentration is 0.1, and then the volume in liters, you have milliliters, right? 25 ml. If you convert that into liters, you're going to have 0.025 liters. So if you see, you're going to get very small number. So you're going to get 0.0025 moles. You can convert that into millimoles. How do you do that? If you multiply this with 1000, you're going to get millimoles. Then it will become 2.5 millimoles. That's what here they are showing, 2.5 millimoles, the initial number of moles of acid you have, H plus ions. And then the total volume was 25 mil, and then the H plus ion concentration is already given 0.1 molar. When you find your pH, that's 1.00. So you can apply the same concept for your second row as well. For example, you added 5 ml of your base to this, right? And then your OH minus ion, the number of moles, you do similar kind of calculations by using that. You have molarity as 0.1, and then you added 5 ml, you're going to end up with 0.5 moles. And then H plus ions remaining is going to be, you have 2.5 moles of H plus, and then 0.5 moles of OH minus you added. That means these two will get reacted. That means your H plus ions will reduce 0.5 by 0.5, then you get 2.0. And then what would be your total volume? You have 25 milliliters in your flask, and then you added 5 ml to it. then your total volume it would be 30. And then you can find out your H plus ion concentration, and then when you measure your pH, that would be 1.176. So this is how you can do at each step, you can do your calculations and then you can plot your graph. Let's look the next titrations when you react weak acid with a strong base. Previous one was strong acid, strong base. Here weak acid reacting with strong base, are you doing the titration? So this in this neutralization reaction, so weak acid you are taking is your acetic acid, and then strong base would be your sodium hydroxide. So and here if we remember properly, whenever you have a weak acid, when you add strong base to it, so it will produce a weak base here. And also in this acetate ion also undergoes into neutralization in the process of hydrolysis. So it will also go, water will react with this acetate ions and produces acetic acid and then OH minus ions. So this is because weak acids completely like won't, like the reaction will not be complete, or all the reactants are not going to be converted to products. Okay, so you can observe the difference here. So let's say you do the similar process, you take your weak acid in your flask and then you keep on adding your base to your strong base to your flask, and then you record all your the base volume will be on your x-axis, how much you're adding, and then you're measuring your pH. When you start your reaction, you did not add any of your sodium hydroxide to it, and when you check your pH, the pH was around 2. Let's say 2.9, and then once you add, let's say for example this is like 2 ml, when you add 2 ml of that base, the pH will increase to 3.2 or 3.3. So and then added 2 ml more, and then it went up to 3.8. So it's like increasing rapidly when you compare with strong acid, strong base. Even though you added 5 ml of base, it improved from 1 pH to 1.2 something. So here this is like rapidly increasing the pH when you add your base. And then once all of your acid reacts with your base, that's where your pH value suddenly jumps from this 5.7 or 5.8 all the way to 10.2. So and then if you take half of that point somewhere, and that will be your equivalence point. So you take that point and then you extrapolate towards x-axis, towards y-axis, then it will tell you if you add, let's say 25 ml of your base to that, that's your equivalence point, where at the equivalence point the pH is going to be 8.5.